Okay, just go. Okay, we're live.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. We are gathering for the Environmental Advisory Committee. So I'll start with number one roll call. I'll call your name and just if you could say here. So Matthew Gravelin.
Yes, we see. I'm here.
Rick Cargus. I can't hear Rick.
You just opted out, so you'll probably be popping up.
Okay. Timothy Smith. Tim, your mic is closed. I'll carry on. Jeanette Monaghan.
Present.
Yeah. There's Rick. Cargus has returned. Rick, you're here. And Jonathan Borgal.
Yes, good evening.
And Manon Babin.
Present.
And we'll try Tim again.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah, and so we're all present. Thank you, everyone. Numero deux, any additions, deletions, or amendments?
This is, yeah.
Jeanette?
Yes, I would just like to see if we can add to our agenda an idea that I have that could help our municipality, our trees, and our budget and our revenue.
Okay,
Just a couple of things at the same time, isn't it?
It's one idea. It's one idea.
No,
so
it's
we'll
good.
put that under 7F then?
Yeah, it's under wood and trees. What's the name of it?
All right, anybody else? Matthew?
Donc, you put it in an email to us a little bit earlier today. I just saw it on my Gmail account, but the UCPR decision today warrants, I think, a bit of discussion and sort of thoughts of what we can do next as the Environmental Advisory Committee here in Russell.
All right, I put that on the agenda as 7C, the Climate Action Plan, and the Eco East presentation.
Okay, that's exactly.
So we can talk about, you can add your information at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing to add, Cindy, is community assembly. So there's going to be a community assembly happening here in Prescott Russell at Hammond on the Hill on December 12th, and it's to coincide with the global environmental efforts that are happening across the world.
Okay, so how about we discuss that at round table?
Okay, perfect. That's fine.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that it's on discussion items.
Yeah, so when I go around, you can bring that up.
Perfect.
Anybody else?
Do you want to add the dates for 2022, or do we just talk about it in the?
We can add the dates for 2022, so we'll put it under G.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just want to again add and I'd like to get it on regularly, but I know the mayor is working on a land acknowledgement statement. So there's a few committees that are doing them. The library board's doing them, and I think he's looking at sort of having maybe one statement. So I'll just read what we had put before, and I did send it to him so he can, because some are very long and ours is quite short, so maybe we'll get a happy medium and just get something consistent. So as traditional stewards of the earth, the Environmental Advisory Committee would like to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples whose land we are gathered upon today. So that is the statement I sent him, and I just thought, especially, you know, because we are doing a lot of environmental land work, that it just makes sense to acknowledge the land that we are working on. And with that, numéro 3, adoption of the agenda. So I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda as amended. So Mathieu, Rick, thank you. All right, adoption of the minutes, numéro 5. Minutes from April 7th revised, June 2nd, and August 11th, 2021. Did everybody have a chance to review them? I did, but anyone else have anything that needs changing or something? If anyone wants to approve them?
I'm just quickly reading through them.
Okay.
But Tim, I think Tim said he could.
Okay, Tim, and to second the minutes. Rick. All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, business arising. Oh, sorry. Did somebody say something? No?
No, nothing.
Okay, numéro 6, business arising from the minutes. A, the tree bylaw update business plan for 2021. Is that the right 2021-120? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, that's the business item number.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just was hoping to get to sort of see where we are. I know last time you said you were looking at some other municipalities and looking at regulations and what have you, and I'm just wondering where we are with that. And you know,
yeah, unfortunately, no progress on mine.
No progress. I'm just hoping that we can. What would you think might be a timeline that we could present the first draft to council?
It's hard to predict something, honestly. As soon as I establish a time frame, council put more on my plate.
No, I understand that. So complete.
So yes, I'm trying to fast track, but there's other commitment that and just the blue box program as well. That's another big item that being imposed and changing regulation. There's a lot of work to be done on that aspect.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm just thinking or hoping that we can at least get this, addressed as in our mandate, because we'll be winding down next year, and then we have an election.
Yeah, so, and obviously it would be best to have that in front of council before LMDUC as well.
Exactly.
I don't think it would matter, but I wouldn't take any chance, and I would really work hard to make sure that it's done prior to reach that point.
Okay. Excellent. So I hope you don't mind if I just sort of keep it on the agenda, just so we can sort of, if there's any updates or anything that you can report to us, or any way that we can help, or anything like that, that we can.
Well, the next step, the committee is really gonna be the promotion education. Once we put that bylaw in place.
Right. And what about from the minutes there, like checking with other municipalities, like is there any homework we can do there?
Well, I got some ideas. I got lots of examples. Now it's more a matter of me going through them and really grasping their enforcement part of what would be appropriate for our municipality.
Okay, and then again, like I say, if you ever want to just fire it away to the committee so they can have a review, and then if they have any comments or any input, we also have our legal expertise, so anything like that, I think it would be great to because sometimes 5 or 6 eyes, a set of eyes are a lot better.
Yeah, no, for sure. As soon as I get something more, I'll be able to share with the committee.
Okay, great, thank you. B, climate change action plan update, business plan. So this was from the partially from the presentation that we received back in August from Eco East. And I know, Jonathan, this is on your agenda, so did you want to comment on that?
Well, I did present a resolution to council to join the one of the all the resources from FCM. So the council did support that. So now I'm working where all those tools like to establish our action plan. So it's really, I'm working in the same line of what was suggested or recommended by or from that presentation that we had in August.
Right. Yeah, and I sent a copy of that presentation to everybody just so you'd have the updated version, because the one I sent to you today is what they're presenting tonight to the United Counties of Prescott Russell.
It was
the PCP I was looking for, Partner for
PCP.
Climate Protection.
Okay.
Also, Cindy, just a correction, that presentation was this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was tonight.
No.
Because that's why I told them I couldn't be there. They didn't question it. Just said, sorry, I can't be there. I'm in another meeting. Okay. That's too bad.
It's there's good update on that. So
okay, good, excellent. All right, and so so again, that's just going to be ongoing, Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly. And again, once I have like a draft of that action plan or for their next step, we'll have the discussion of the committee before going to council.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's critical, and the timing is, you know, like, I mean, what's happening right now in the West Coast and the East Coast. I think, as I was saying the other night, I said we have to be proactive instead of reactive. You know, that we have to have something in place in case, you know, some catastrophic event occurs. So it's good to have a climate action plan, and things are getting crazy with the weather and what have you. So it's I just think it's a real priority right now, and you know, we're seeing it in our own country. So that's good for that. And then C is a follow-up on committee resolutions. So that was the resolutions that we presented to council at the last meeting. From our August 11th meeting, we had the resolution to put some roadside planting to attract pollinators. And we also had the resolution to do incentives for farmers to, and both resolutions were presented to council. And
they were both received by council.
Both received. I thought the one was approved.
Well, it's council did receive both, and they gave a direction to staff for both resolution. So that means like the recommendation, what from the committee worked, and there's a direction given to staff to establish programs for both resolution.
Okay, and we did sort of talk about it in the budget too.
Well, that's when council gave direction
to
staff to proceed with those two items.
Okay, excellent. Just so the committee's aware of their work and everything. Number 7, agenda items. A, the 2022 budget.
So I want to go through the highlights of the budget for infrastructure, but also to make the committee aware that council did approve the timeline for the organic collection.
Oh.
So the council did commit to issue the tender in 2022 to award the contract at the end by December, and then in 23 to do promotion in order to have our first collection in September.
Wow.
And also in the same commitment, council did put aside about $30,000 in reserve for the purchase of green bins once we get to that step.
Awesome.
So that's for the in my environment budgets. That was one of the big items that council did give direction or commit for 22.
Were there any questions?
So are you gonna? Yeah, I have some. Are
Okay.
you gonna be with all the green bin extra? Is that gonna be available for landfill, or or not for landfill, but to farmers to recycle, reuse, or I don't know, some kind of, instead of having this big dump waste, or is it going to be sold to Ottawa, or it depends who gets the contract?
Well, it's gonna be who gets the contract for the disposal.
Okay, it was just an idea. I was just thinking.
One of the things, depending of which facility does win the bid, there's always the aspect of the end material. Some facility, depending of which grade that the material comes at, there's a return for a resident. As an example, like we'll have fresh compost available in the springtime for resident flowers or garden. Again, it depends of the type of grade that facility can produce but that's one of the options that we can put it in our tender to have the end product or a percentage available for resident.
Now, would we sell that product, or would that be free?
Again, that would be a decision to be made at that point, but I would make the recommendation to sell to give it for free and not sell it.
But I like what you're saying, Jonathan, about the end product, to have at least ideas for the end product. So, okay.
And sometimes those facilities will work by a percentage. Let's say we bring in 1,000 ton, we get back 5 or 10%, like those type of formulas.
Sorry, I'm just making a note there.
That's great news.
Wow. Yes, it
Yeah,
is. It's
that's great.
amazing.
What was the turning factor, Jonathan, from the last time we brought it forward to council to this? Do you know the changing dynamics?
The blue box program.
Okay.
Now we know that in July 23, we won't be responsible for the blue box program.
Oh, okay.
So financially, municipality we won't need to contribute to the program. So we'll be able to take that portion of our budget and just kind of flip it towards the organic program.
Perfect.
So in that sense of timing, that council this time around, I believe it's a better timing.
Perfect.
And it was high on the priority list of a lot of residents. Again, we just did the surveys too, and that green bin came up every time, as a really top priority, I think, for residents.
Yeah, and at the request at the budget as well.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent.
And
right.
If I go through just the big projects, again, there's lots of paving. Council did increase the paving budget again this year. So, and we do have the construction of a snow dump facility, planification for a few runabouts, construction of a couple of runabouts as well. Sidewalks to address accessibility. Those would be like the main project that can that people it's like really will catch the eyes to everyone. The rest is more like the replacements or.
Are they looking in the budget for trying to improve our wastewater, like our sewers?
That's an ongoing
nightmare. No.
No, but I mean it's part of our operation. It's something that's always there, where there's like a strict standard that we need to meet. So we're always working to and there's one of our projects that we're working on this year, just to improve again the quality of our wastewater.
Okay, good. Wow. Can we get news on maybe our next agenda on that one?
Yeah, right now we're basically reviewing all our data for the last 5 years.
Nice.
So we're working to see what would be our best options to achieve a better quality of wastewater.
Nice. Okay. So you maybe at our next meeting or in a couple of months, you would have some information on that to provide to us and our community.
Well, next meeting or as soon as we get conclusion or type of improvement required or conclusion of our analysis. Yeah, I can definitely share that activity.
Thank you.
And the main items that we're looking at, it's like ammonia removal and phosphorus removal. Those are the two main items that we're looking to improve even better than what we're achieving now.
Because I see a lot of technology out there in Europe and everything, and how they're improving their wastewater, and so I can't wait to see what. Maybe we need an investment in that area, so that's why I can't wait to see the report.
Yeah, and part of that is to see the best, best investment and what's feasible as well. So
yeah,
that aspect.
And another issue on that is like, I've seen other places that are looking at even like the amount of road salt that they're using, like the calcium chloride and what ends up in the river, the runoff from that. And
that's one of the reasons. That's what we're focusing on for our snow dump facility.
Yeah. Okay.
And also just to add quickly, and we're also doing 2 bridge rehab next year as well. So lots of investment in and then road network system.
Very good. That was say 2, Jonathan?
Yes. And also, I know we'll touch base on the hazardous waste event, but part of the budget, we are back to 1 event in 2022. And the savings of doing 1 event, that's what that remaining amount of dollars will go in reserve for the green bin purchase.
Are we looking at May for that?
It will be in September.
Ah, okay.
So basically the idea we'll go at 1, but we'll make sure that we're not waiting 12 months.
Okay. I like the idea of September because, people will have finished their summer projects.
So if it goes well, the idea would be maybe to go like to a 10 to 11 month period in between each event. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, those were discussions we had at the budget sessions, and initially I was quite opposed to going back to 1 because this committee had done the recommendation of going to 2. I was worried that people weren't hanging on to their items for a full year, especially when some kept getting canceled due to COVID and what have you. So then and then when Jonathan said, well, we'll move it up a little earlier and then try not to have it a full year like the next year. So that might work out. And what was the cost again? It's like 40. Remind me.
Our net cost, it's around $30,000.
That's what I thought. Yeah, 30, 40. So it was I was torn on that one. So that's it.
That's it for the budget.
Merci. And then B was community garden. I just wanted to give a little update on this item because we had a presentation again, I believe it was August, from Megan Beeler from Communications, and that they were looking at putting a community garden at the new rec complex at that area. And, we're still working out the logistics of the type of garden, having it accessible, having raised beds, different things and what have you. And Megan and I both met with Jennifer Glenn from Pick Plant Prune, and also Grace Stapper of the Russell Horticultural Society. And Jennifer Glenn has a community garden in Russell, but it is this garden, which, you know, kind of came up. And I just wanted to clarify that this particular garden is on private property, and it's also strictly for charity. Like, so most of the food there went to the food bank, the Emblem Food Bank, or to women's shelters or places like that. So, and then if there was abundance left over, she was also just offering it to the community. But we couldn't have the community all going to this, because this is someone's home, where this is a farm in Russell where this garden is. So then also what came up was the Russell Library, Public Library, is talking about putting, you know, a smaller scale community garden on the property near the public library. And so again, but this would be primarily as an educational garden, also for the children and the families, and then they would be able to benefit from what is grown there. But it's not like where just anybody can go, is my understanding anyway of that. So it's still, you know, being worked out. Megan's still looking at it, and you know, she was hoping to get. Yeah.
If you want to tell Megan if she needs money, or when the municipality needs money, the Ag in the Classroom has money to help that. If you're going to involve access for school, they have money. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're looking at schools as such as just having it. So like they're even looking at whether people are going to rent a plot, or if they're, you know, if it's going to be just a garden where people maintain. You got to work out a lot of logistics. Like there's, you know, the water feature, the storage, the fencing, the security, different things like that. So these are all still being looked at, but I will mention that to her. She has seeked out funding, and she did receive one grant for the garden from South Nation as a community event. So I just wanted to give an update on that. So it hasn't been disregarded, and if anybody has any input or any ideas, you know, we can pass them on to myself, or we can get them to Megan, or you know, I'm sure she just wanted to. The reason she presented to us as the environment team, she wanted our input and also our support for the project. So yeah. So
I know.
any other?
I know that Jen speaking to me quite adamantly about the community garden aspect, and how they've seen good success with it at the farm location, and she's excited to work with the rec complex to put in the community garden here in Russell. It's for her, from what I understood, and this might be similar to what you heard as well, Cindy, was more around understanding who would have the different plots and who would maintain those different plots. Because the longevity of maintaining the plots, even at the farm location, sometimes falls upon her to make sure that it's maintained to certain degrees. So to have responsible people that will take it through the entire year is a part of the conversation.
I mean, she had volunteers. I volunteered there this summer. And I would go out, you know, and just contact her and say, do you need anything this week? And she'd tell me what needed to be done, and harvest tomatoes or whatever. But she's going to offer her expertise and her input, and but she's just, you know, she also has a business on top of running this community garden, so she can't, you know, summer's her busiest time. So she's got her landscaping business and Pick Plant Prune, so I'll give her a plug there. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know it's still in the works, And anything we can do to support Megan on this, you know, I think we should. So did anybody have any other questions? No? All right, so C is the climate action plan. So again, my correction that the presentation was this morning. And so they were, because the United Counties was looking at their official plan, they wanted to set targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and also to increase tree coverage. And they had a few recommendations to present to the council. And I'm also going to sit, like they gave us the presentation. I've sent you the updated slide deck, but you know, I would also recommend that they present to our council just to you know, encourage that we do it locally as well. But Matthew, do you want to give an update on that?
Yeah, so Eco East initially presented to the UCPR on November 10th the idea of a regional climate action plan that was very much built out of Jonathan, the presentation that we gave to the municipality of Russell around the PCP elements, so the partners in climate protection, and a lot of elements that are in there, along with the need to have community involvement to build that regional climate action plan. There was a lot of discussion from the mayors across the UCPR on that November 10th presentation day, and you can see it all from the recording that's available on UCPR as a part of a committee. It was a presentation of the committee of the whole, so they couldn't make a decision at that point. And there was a lot of mayors that gave their feedback. It was interesting going into that particular date on November 10th, because what happened is we had at that point, from Eco East perspective, we had 6 of the 8 municipalities that had already passed a resolution at the municipal level to join the PCP. So to join Partners in Climate Action, the climate protection, like Jonathan was able to facilitate for here in Russell. And so there was just 2 remaining that had to go ahead. And in just before the day of, we didn't know this, but actually Castleman did also approve the resolution as well. So it was actually 7 of 8. And so the last remaining was Hawkesbury to approve that resolution. And the one comment that was brought forward, and has to be given where credit's due, is Mayor Leroux was the first person to speak after the presentation. And he was very supportive of the need of UCPR to be aware and supportive of a regional climate action plan because of his own directive of here, the municipality of Russell. But he was quite concerned that he didn't feel as if the council had the capacity in terms of staff capacity or in terms of the right direction of who would lead that initiation of the regional climate action plan, because staff, there was a limited staff that could do that. So he suggested South Nation Conservation be considered as a lead for that effort. And he also didn't feel as if the vote would allow for the PCP to be adopted at the UCPR level. After that point, Eco East did meet again, and being a part of that group that was working on the regional climate action plan, there was some discussion of how to reach out, and there was a lot of reach out to the individual mayors about what they consider in terms of the vote that they had this morning on November 24th. And this morning at 10 a.m., I'm pleased to announce, Cindy, that UCPR did pass the resolution to join PCP with no discussion. So we don't know what that means at the Eco East level as of yet. I'm not sure if anyone really knows what that is. I think they passed that resolution that they want to go in the direction of the Partners of Climate Protection, because similar to how Jonathan's building his plan as well, there's a number of resources that are available to municipalities. In the same way, there's resources available to the regional bodies that go ahead like UCPR did. So the Eco East group is going to meet again and sort of talk through, not the Eco East, my apologies, it's referred to as the Climate Action group there. We call ourselves CAP, but some of the members are from Eco East. We're going to really understand the right messaging back to UCPR so that we have the right suggestions to them of how the environmental groups found in Russell and elsewhere in Prescott Russell can help with the decisions that the residents of Prescott Russell decide to move forward on that regional climate action plan, similar to how we strongly suggest it is done here in the municipality of Russell. So that is the update for everyone to know, and a huge thank yous for everyone that's involved in these discussions and the support when we presented to the municipality of Russell, because it definitely helped for leverage of the council here to make the decision to join PCP, and it leveraged that for the discussion of UCPR. What I would suggest from our committee, and it's not a decision today, but maybe in the new year it would be a good idea, is to think of how, Jonathan, we can help with what we're doing in Russell to help then inform what maybe they want to consider to do at the UCPR level, or whether they do it individually, municipality, because they hadn't quite figured out at the UCPR level how they'd want to implement this at a regional level.
Yeah, what I can do, I'll reach out to the staff at the UCPR level, and maybe I'll be able to brief the committee at our next meeting, and to see how we can basically align our courses throughout the county.
Because just so that you know, Jonathan, Pierre, you probably already know, but Mayor LaRue did bring up the fact that Russell had passed a resolution to go ahead with PCP, and he thought it was a good resource and a good way to move forward. Some of the other mayors had some constructive feedback, which was good to know of what some of the constructive feedback is across the region. And it's needed for an effective climate action plan to actually get movement that everyone agrees to consider everyone's input, because that's the whole idea. It's not to put together a solution that just works for one group of people. It's moving forward to a solution to help with battling climate change at a regional level. So all our people are involved in that discussion.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do it even as a whole, you know, than everybody working on it individually, maybe. I don't know.
The big thing, and this is something everyone to bring their expertise or considerations to, is they were really concerned about the capacity piece, about understanding who could take action where. And that is, I think, part of what we could potentially bring in leverage in terms of the networks we may know of in the environmental capacity. Jeanette, from what you know of in terms of your work with the farming communities, Cindy, with all of the work that you've done at the green level, and Rick and Tim for any other the connections that you may have in the environmental landscape that may be able to leverage at the regional level.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add on that? No, seeing none. So I guess we'll proceed. Then the next one was D, the incentive for farmers and budget items for trees. So again, we've already discussed that, but I just wanted to let you know that it was discussed at the budget level to have incentives to farmers to look at that, to encourage them to keep hedgerows or wildlife corridors, plant trees. I mean, they already do the corn for the barriers on the road for snow drifting, but trees also do that as well. So that was something that, you know, I was hoping to initiate something that, you know, if we had some kind of incentive for a tax break or something that more farmers might get on board. And then we also got increased was in the budget for trees, it was budgeted at $30,000, and I got it increased to, or I requested that it be increased, and it was increased to $50,000 for tree cover. So
Cindy?
So, yes.
I agree with trying to get, okay, the corn is cool there, but you know, and I don't even know if it's possible, but it would be nice to have trees, you know, and instead of corn, you know, but trying to figure out I like your idea of incentives, you know, not necessarily payments, but incentives, you know, or in kind or whatever, you know. So, but trees would be better.
I got an outline on this also for summary of buffer and windbreak programs for agricultural producers. And I got, there's one like South Nation Clean Water Program. There's the Ottawa Rural Clean Water Program, the South Nation Tree Planting Program, Green Acres of Ottawa, and then Alice, Ontario East. And they have establishment and annual incentive payments for pollinator habitat, hedgerows, buffers, native meadows, and land retirement. And then there's a list here of the amounts. So natural windbreaks, they give 75% up to $6,000.
Yeah, we applied for Alice, I'd say maybe 5 years ago, but you know, I guess that they've got maybe they got a big long list there, but we did apply, but we're just on the waiting list. So.
And in the South Nation one, they have 50% up to $5,000 for establishment, and then $150 per acre per year. So there is some incentives out there. Did I send that to you, Jonathan, that list?
No, and that would be useful because next year, that's my mandate from council to establish some guidelines, or so we can put in place an appropriate budget moving forward.
Okay, I'll put that on my action item there.
Can you send it to all of us?
Yes,
Cindy?
I will. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry, my pen just messed up. Good thing I've got 4 or 5 of them here. Action item, Cindy. All right, so yeah, so I just wanted to update you on that. Then E was update on the hazardous waste event. Jonathan.
So this year it was held under 2 days, so the Friday and Saturday. It was a good turnout, but nothing compared to the previous years. It was a total of about 500 cars for both days.
Oh.
500 each day?
No, in total.
Total?
I should have pulled the exact number. But yeah, even for quantities, it was not even close of what we're used to looking back in the last 5 years.
Isn't that strange?
There's more and more location where people can get rid of those products.
Oh, okay.
If you look at just the paint, well, if your paint can is empty, it's recyclable.
Yeah.
So we were well organized. We had lots of staff, but the outcome was not really what we anticipated. Especially looking back at last year, it was so busy that we had to turn around people.
Well, you know what it was? It's Jeanette and I weren't there.
So it was still a good event, but not the quantity that we were expecting.
Yeah,
and did you have? Remember, I think you did mention it before. Was the amount of liters of?
We don't have the final numbers yet. We're still waiting all that final paperwork from the Rainall. Okay. So as soon as we get all those exact liter of oil, paint, we'll be able to share that full list. So basically, it's unofficial and it's written on manifest that we have 25 pages. So we're just waiting on our final resume for all the quantities.
Okay, yeah, I'll be maybe. Do you think you'll have that by the next meeting?
Yeah, we should.
So maybe we can have that also.
Yeah, because we'll need to finalize our reporting as well shortly. So I'm sure Drainall will provide the info to us.
Okay, and again, like you mentioned, going back to 1 day, and then starting in September next year.
So for September. We won't wait a 12-month period. So it's going to be in September. So we're moving up a month.
I think that's good. All All right, so F is Jeanette has something to update us on.
Okay. Ta-da. Okay. I think our Mr. Mayor Pierre Leroux, since he set the challenge for resolutions and us to brainstorm ideas, this is my idea. Hopefully, it's a win-win-win-win. Okay. My idea would be to try to get council or our community to approve the use of used wood, still requesting permits. You still need a permit to build like sheds or garages, not the home. But in this way, and the purpose of all this, because we look at all the stuff in the used wood and it's still good, and the purpose is to save trees, right? So this is the whole purpose. Yes, we want to plant trees, but we want to save trees. But if the used wood is still good, and I'm sure when the inspectors come and they say, yes, this is good, yes, there's going to be people that probably abuse it, but I don't think so. But would be to approve the use of used wood to build sheds and garages. I know the municipality still has an old book for where people can build stuff on their own with used wood or timber. And so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. That document already exists at the municipality. But, people would be more incentivized if they want to. If they don't want to, let's say, incentivized to build stuff. The municipality would say, oh, there's an extra building there. They'll pay more taxes, so they'll get more money. So people are going to be happy, municipality is going to be happy, and the environment is going to be happy. So I think it's a win-win-win. And it can be easily recorded on our taxes, built by owner. This building, built by owner, or something like that, or so it can be easily identified. That'd be my idea of try to, do our little part in saving the trees.
So, Jonathan, I have a question about at our La Flèche transfer station, when wood is dropped off. So is it sorted, or do you know, is there, no, it just all?
If resident does bring construction waste to the transfer station, it just get mixed with the rest and bring to the landfill.
So
no, but you know how a person just happens, to have used wood, or it would incentivize maybe construction companies like this. This is how it. Before you guys were born, I know I'm only joking, but in the olden days, construction companies used to recycle their wood. They permit people to pick up their old wood or pieces of wood.
Yeah, well, that's still it is something that's going on right now. There's a lot of companies that does that, demolish old barns and shed to reuse the wood.
Yeah, but people can't build their garages with used wood.
Why not? They can they not? You can recycle wood.
Maybe not anything structural, but I mean, it can still be used for other purposes.
Yeah, or shelving or everything. I'm saying the whole
right now,
caboodle.
Like the municipality, we do have 5 buildings that we have a contractor that's the recycling. There's got to be recycling all the woods, so we're not wasting anything. Okay.
So in our municipality, we can build a garage with used wood?
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that you can recycle wood.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that would be a question for under the building.
Be a question for who? Sorry, Jonathan?
Our building department.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, or planning.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the house, but maybe they would encourage people, to organize their property, their home. They'd be so happy, and then the municipality would be happy. They'd be making money, but that was not the home, but to be able to build the garage or a shed. That was just it's just an idea. It's just an idea. But again, that doesn't mean it's a great idea or it's a doable idea. But if we can maybe think about if it's possible.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something we could, I could even ask some developers, or I don't know. Like I mean, you do see a lot of wood left over.
It wouldn't be the developers. It'd be the municipality. Would our municipality be the leader in all of I don't know where to allow their citizens to build garages up to maybe a certain square feet? They could even put a limit of square footage.
Again, the question goes back to if it's being inspected by our building inspector, what's permitted under the building code?
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Okay, well, we'll try and find an answer.
Or if it is, maybe we could at least do some bragging rights, Maybe it is already permitted and it is buried underneath the paperwork and nobody knows about it. You know what I mean? And maybe the environmental side can say, this is what our municipality is allowing our citizens to do, and brag about it and say this, this is part of what we're doing for the environment. There you go. That's my spiel.
Okay, well, we'll look into it, Jeanette. Thank you for the idea.
I would support Jeanette just from the side that my own home, our quite large porch in the back is all made of used wood. So we have our posts that was new wood, but the actual planking on the actual surface of the porch and the railing is all used wood, and it's survived for Russell winters, and we're looking to just sort of furbish a water sealant next spring, but it's holding out quite nicely. So it's
it's an interesting idea because same thing. We have some rough cut pine in I have a screened in porch at the back, and some of that wood's refurbished also.
Cindy, some people can't afford it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would make such a big difference and support people in that area too. It's we don't want to just to cater to the rich, but to the middle class and the low, the whatever class is underneath there. But to encourage that, that's that's to help them too.
Okay. We'll put that on the as an action item, Jeanette. Okay, so I'll look into some things so that I can find out. And Jonathan, maybe you can just ask the building department if what the regulation is on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if it's absolutely no, then we won't pursue that part. All right, so the next thing, thanks Jeanette, the next thing is G, and that's Minot, and it's dates for our meetings for 2022. And as Minot pointed out before we went live, that we did have a meeting scheduled for next week, but our schedule got messed up because of my surgery. So that's why we delayed the meeting from the beginning of November till now, and so I don't think we have anything pressing to go over in the next week or so. So I would suggest we cancel that one. But did you want to give us the dates, Minot?
Well, depending if we cancel the one in December, because usually we start in February. So if we cancel in December, do you want to start in January?
What's the feeling of the group? I mean, we wouldn't have it too early in January. I would suggest later in January because the office is closed and there's Christmas holidays and people don't really, Jonathan, you won't have much of an opportunity to work on too much.
As long as
having a well-deserved break.
Yeah.
During Christmas.
Does the municipality have more meetings whenever they have less meetings? Because we want less conflict as possible.
What do you suggest, Jonathan? Like how for you? Would you prefer January or February?
I would probably suggest to keep to the February meeting. So on the second.
Okay, merci.
February?
Yeah, the 2nd of February.
Okay, so what's the date then, Menno, for February?
It would be the 2nd. If we go on the first Wednesday of the month, that would be February 2nd.
Okay,
Okay, so if we go with that, then we would have April 6th,
yeah,
then June 1st.
yeah,
Ooh, I like those
There's no
dates.
meeting in July, then there would have August 3rd,
Okay.
yeah.
October 5th, and
Okay.
December 7th.
September
Oh, no.
7th or December?
December.
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 Oh, yes. No
Second.
meetings in May. Woohoo.
For the one in August, could we say right away that it will be the 10th and not the October?
Well, that's the holiday,
August.
eh?
Well, I know I'll be off. I'll be on holiday the first week of August.
Okay, let's make it the 10th.
Okay, done.
So we got, I'll just reiterate here,
Re-
February 2nd, April 6th,
Yeah.
June
Yeah.
1st, August 10th, October
Mhm.
5th, and December 2nd.
Yes.
Oh,
All right, excellent.
when are the elections?
October,
So
and
we
around
won't.
the 20th, around there.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
the
so
December-
we won't. So we
Yeah,
won't have a meeting in December 7th because I forgot the you know how when you have to reapply and do the paperwork. So I
Oh,
don't
right.
think December 7th is going to happen.
Good
Yeah.
But
point.
that will be just for an election year, so no big. You
Yeah.
know? Or,
No,
or-
no December meeting. And so the next one is number 8, and that's question period on meeting of the day. And just have to bear with me because I've only got one arm.
It won't be too difficult tonight.
No,
There's none.
and we have no questions. All right, so that's it for that. But I'm glad we added that. So thank you for
Yep,
doing
yep.
that, you know. Because I think it's nice to have the community input
Mhm.
at our meetings, and it was an oversight on my part, to be honest. It wasn't until it was brought to my attention that I even, realized, well, yeah, we don't. So number 9 is round table, and so I'll start with Jonathan.
Yeah, I got nothing to add for this item.
No. All right, Rick? Do you have anything you wanted to add in round
I just have I just have one general question. I've been informed earlier today that my committee meeting I have in December for another committee is in person. Are we have any talks about this committee appearing in person? Or are we going to stick to this?
Well, if it's in December, you said that they're talking about in
Yeah.
person. Oh, this December.
Yeah. Yeah. Like in 2.5 weeks, I have the diversity committee meeting in person.
I haven't heard any direction on that, so I will get back to you on
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
because
thank
the mayor hasn't indicated. They're talking about council possibly going live in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just to consider there, Rick, I know at the accessibility committee I was just in 2 weeks ago, Malcolm Brezon did ask of us if we wanted to move from a virtual to a physical space for the next committee meeting. And there's a vote of committee members. And there, just so that you know the sense of other committees, it was decided that we still stay virtual.
Yeah,
Again,
I agree with
thank
that.
you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just get your feedback now on that.
Yeah.
So how because I know a lot of you are really, really busy, and maybe it's more convenient for you this way.
I love it. I'm on the tractor tonight. Like, I'm hauling corn right now, so I love it.
I bet you are. That does not surprise me at all.
Well, no, but I love the virtual meeting. Look at what I can do. So anyway, but maybe
Okay.
like once a year or something, but not, we'll wait till all this weird stuff maybe, dissipates a bit,
I'm okay
Yeah.
with carrying on this way. What about
Yeah.
Rick? You're okay with this? Matthew, what about Tim?
Yeah, I'm good with this format.
Yes, and Jonathan?
For me, it doesn't really change. I'm at the office right now, so
Oh, okay. And Menno, you're at the office?
No, I'm home.
You're at home. So you're
Oh,
okay.
there.
You're okay either way, Menno?
Yes.
All right. So I think we'll just leave it as it is for now. And, we'll just wait and see what's happening in the new year. And if the other committees are all starting to move forward, then, but I haven't received any direction on that at all. But great question. Thank you. And so next I'll go to Tim. Did you have anything?
Yeah, I was just reading the August 11 minutes, and I was reminded of we were talking about an environmental section for the Russell website, and I had an idea of because Jonathan was mentioning quantities of stuff that's collected, so I was wondering if we could possibly put stats up there. Maybe the amounts of hazardous waste that we collect, the recycling we collect, and
That's a
The yard-
great idea.
the yard waste, the garbage, and when the organics come up, that we could
Yeah.
just see from year to year how we're doing in those areas, and so the public can track it as well.
So I'm just talking out loud here, Jonathan, but should I or you contact Megan on that and see if we could get a little section of environmental updates from the committee, and just that's a great thing. The citizens might be really curious. Well, how successful was the Hazardous Waste Day?
yeah,
Yes.
I think and right now, we already have the page of all our recycling, and so
Yeah.
there would be an opportunity to include something for stats.
Yeah.
We can definitely work with Megan and to try to have something.
So
Oh my God.
did you want to talk
Cindy.
to Megan, or do you want me to?
No, Mano and I will talk with Megan.
Okay, perfect.
So Cindy, you're saying that the municipality, I know I'm bugging you guys a while to have just the municipality to have something written, environment, or volet, I don't know how to say that in English.
Well, we do it
tab?
on the website, like Jonathan was saying, but it would be just maybe a little link in there where just if we have an event or something, and like Tim suggested, that we post the stats or just give the information to the public.
Because right now the main things that people are looking for is garbage and recycling.
Oh,
Which that kind of brings us to everything that we have from our environmental programs. So it's
well, we're more than the environmental committee. We're more than garbage and recycling.
no, but it's in a way the type of things that people are looking on the website.
Yeah.
I know. But it'd be cool if they know that we're working on a tree bala, or we're working like what you just announced that in 2023 we'll be having our green bins, and all these good news. We have so many good things, and we're not posting it. Or there's no oh, what's happening with the environment? Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Thanks for that, Tim. That's a great idea. Was there anything else, Tim?
No, that's all for me.
That's it. All right. And so next I'll go to Jeanette.
Oh no, I'm all talked out.
Okay, Matthew.
So I'd like to let everyone know about the community assembly that's happening on December 12th at Hammond Golf and Country Club in Hammond, Ontario. And this event is hosted by Eco East, Mail Franc, Prescott Russell, in partnership with UCPR Coalition for Climate Action, the group that put together the appeals to UCPR and to the municipality here. And we're hosting the community assembly in support of the world's first ever global assembly on the environmental and ecological crisis. The goal of the assembly is to consider and discuss the question, how can humanity address the climate and ecological crisis in a fair and effective way? The assembly will enable you to provide individual insights on experiences and perceptions of climate change and the loss of biodiversity impacts. It will empower you to voice ideas about how governments and communities can respond to this crisis. These discussions and ideas will then be provided to the core Global Assembly and contribute to a report to global leaders. And Lisa Deakin is going to be the chair from Eco East, who will be facilitating this event in discussion in both French and English. And these are the real important points, because we do recognize that it is on a Sunday. Refreshments and a pizza lunch will be provided thanks to our generous sponsors of Hammond Hill and AIM Project Management. Participants can also look forward to winning some great prizes that have been donated by the sponsors. One free night at Hammond Hills Eco Experiences and Wilderness Resort, family fat bike rental at the Rose Forest, a 40 gift certificate donated by Broken Stick Brewery Company, and 250 gift certificates donated by Hammond Hill and Golf and Country Club. Due to ongoing COVID health concerns and provincial vaccine regulations, we are asking that only fully vaccinated participants join this event. As much as we love participation from the youngsters, we are limiting the event to those children that are fully vaccinated, ages 12 plus, because unfortunately none of the children that are starting to get their vaccinations can be fully vaccinated by this date. If you or anyone that you know have an interest to register for this event, you can find it on eventbrite.ca and simply search for Global Assembly, and I found it very easily. It comes up as the first highlighted option.
I can send that out too. I have the information. I got an email on that today, actually from Lisa St. Aubin.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Mathieu. Anything else?
No, I'm just really excited to talk with this group about how we can now work together on the climate action, both here in Russell and at the UCPR level in the new year.
Okay, very good. All right, so any correspondence, or I did get everybody. Oh no, Mano, I didn't get you. Did you have anything to add?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You're good. And Jonathan, you were good, eh? You said?
Yes.
All right. I don't want to miss anybody. So any correspondence or information items, Menno?
No, I don't have anything.
No. So New Meadow Owns action items is, Jonathan, you said you were going to do the brief on this PCP. Contact the UCPR and get back to us at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then we also were wondering if that we'd have any updates on the tree bylaw. And I'm supposed to also, and then you were going to update on the hazardous waste, you thought, at the next meeting, because you should have the stats by then.
Yeah, exactly, to have the quantities.
Yeah. And I will send the info to what Mathieu just mentioned, and also the incentives that I had listed off. I will forward to everybody a copy of that, of this environmental incentives for buffers and Windbreak. I'm tired, obviously, Windbreak programs. My words are getting all mixed up. So the next, I think that brings us to the next meeting. So our next meeting is, what was the date that we said? February 2nd, 2022. And chair's comments. I did have a couple. just really briefly. So to the committee, I just want to thank each and every one of you for a great year. This is obviously our last meeting of the year, and for your commitment to this committee. It just astounds me, and your concern for the environment. And also, merci beaucoup Manon and Jonathan for votre travail cette année. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are stretched thin sometimes, so you know, persevering with us and putting up with some of the requests is really, really appreciated. I did miss being at Hazardous Waste Day, and I think Jeanette and I should be there next year, and you'll get a lot more cars. So I want to wish everybody Joyeux Noël, tout le monde, et bonne année, and we'll see you in 2022, and we'll make your Santa list for next year. So if there's anything you want to have on the agenda that, you know, we haven't thought about, or something that you think we should be, this committee should be working on, because this will be our downslide. Like we said, we'll be wrapping up, and I'd like to see us, you know, walk away and feel like we've accomplished something. And I'm really hoping some of you will reapply, because I think you're a great asset to this committee. And, you know, like I always say to everybody, you know, volunteers are gold in our community. So thank you. And hopefully my first wish list is that we'll have a tree pylon in 2022. So there's my plug.
Yeah.
So if there's nothing else to add, I'll wish you all a good night. Hey,
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, everyone.
Christmas too, eh? And to all a good
Merry
night.
Christmas. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hope Cindy you feel better. Bye bye.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.